Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress party, which seeks Yediyurappa's resignation. H.D. Kumaraswamy, whose former chief minister has also been named, is with us tonight on the News Hour. Taking positions on the subject tonight, defending the chief minister, is Dhananjay Kumar of the BJP, Neeraj Kishan Kaul, lawyer of the Supreme Court, and Ranjit Kumar, also lawyer of the Supreme Court, taking opposite positions tonight. My first question is to you, Dr. Singhvi. I'm playing devil's advocate with you. The Congress party is demanding Yediyurappa's resignation. But the Lokayukt only has recommendatory powers. It can only recommend action, it can only put in a report. It's not binding on the Karnataka government.
Of course it's not binding. Was the allegation in the Times of India regarding Adarsh binding? Was the allegation about Mr. Kalmadi proved in any court of law? Was the various other allegations regarding so many other things which you carry and you demand resignations, are they binding? So I would be very happy, let the BJP practice hypocrisy to its uppermost, let it come out with nice sophisticated distinctions like immoral but not illegal, not binding, not proved in court of law. We'll wait for the report till Monday. It's a leaked report, it's a false report. Each such silly explanation only exposes them more. I want to take 1 minute more, Arnab, please allow me to complete. Just consider, were the sons of the chief minister endowed with some great qualities and qualifications that people suddenly after he became chief minister started offering 10 crores to their trust? Allotment of land to them at nothing, at negligible rates, is resold land at 20 crores. Do you require even a statement beyond this that immediately the resignation of the chief minister should be a starting point? We're not talking of proof. Number two, second should be the resignation of the 4 ministers, but third is most important. The proof will happen and the conviction will happen in the criminal trial. The state government must immediately call for and give its consent to a CBI inquiry. Those who preach without practice must deal with this situation. And this will expose the BJP as it has been exposing for the last 2 years, because every possible reason and excuse is trotted out. Today, Mr. Dhananjay Kumar is valiantly, I would like to see all those crusaders of corruption in the BJP, against corruption in the BJP. Where are they today?
You have no option. Dhananjay Kumar, I'm coming to you next. You have no options on this one. If your party is to be consistent nationally, it has to sack Mr. Yediyurappa. You can choose to be inconsistent. You can say we have one policy in Karnataka and one policy in Delhi. But if you have to be consistent, then your chief minister has to go.
I have been patiently hearing what Abhishek Manu Singhvi ji has been telling. Now, I respect him a lot. He is a senior advocate of the Supreme Court. I would like to pose a question to him. When the Lokayukta has made some comments on the purchase of the land by a mining company, and also when the Honorable Lokayukta is said to have made a comment on the donations made by some mining company to the trust in which the chief minister's children are the trustees, have you ever issued notice to them and heard their views before passing such comments? If not, whether this could be constituted as a final verdict in the matter. This is only a suggestion made, my dear friend, you should understand. And the Honorable Lokayukta is said to have made a statement in the report itself that the
Mr. Kumar,
the link which the Honorable Chief Minister is said to have requires further probe. When that is the observations made by Honorable Justice Santosh Hegde in his report, how can we jump into any other conclusion and say that the Chief Minister should step down?
This is a man, Mr. Dhananjay Kumar, you know, this is the man who you were when he was member of Team Anna. You kept saying fantastic, great probity. These are the kind of people we need to support. We need to support Team Anna against the government. Now, a member of Team Anna has put this report against you. And you are singing a different tune, Dhananjay Kumar. I find this extremely interesting. And by the way, Mr. Kumar, you were also there. BJP was also supporting the action on Kanimodi. If the telecom companies gave donations to Kanimodi's NGO and that was seen as a quid pro quo, why shouldn't the donations given by mining companies to Yediyurappa's trust also be seen as a quid pro quo? Same logic.
Arnab, we cannot We cannot draw parallels like that.
Same logic.
You know, the legal jurisprudence requires before you condemn a person, he should be given an opportunity of
Why?
hearing. Unless you give an opportunity of hearing, how can you ultimately, finally condemn a person?
Okay, now we have, I'm not condemning anyone. I am only putting things on facts, what we know. I want to go to Mr. Kumaraswamy. Mr. Kumaraswamy, you have been fighting this bitter battle with Mr. Yediyurappa. You even went to a temple and took vows to expose each other. We all saw that happening. Now you cannot take on Yediyurappa anymore because he and you are in the same boat. He is accused, you are accused. He is accused as a sitting chief minister. You are accused as an ex-chief minister. Your principal secretary wrote a letter saying Mr. Kumaraswamy wants these licenses and clearances given. Is it right or not?
Whatever yesterday's the leakage report exposed before the people through the media, I am totally, when I was chief minister, according to my conscience, I worked. In that report, whatever official report will going to come within a day or two, any misuse of power or any taken bribe or something, or the decision which was taken at that time regarding those two companies, any loss to the exchequer of the government, I am morning itself expressed that I will going to resign for the Lok Sabha membership. Any indictment about my decision that I have taken decision to the loss to the exchequer, definitely I will going to whatever decision I have taken in the public, I will going to abide
Mr.
for
Kumaraswamy, in 2 days we will know that you can, if what Times Now put out is not right, you will know in 2 days. So in 2 days, if what we have reported is in the report, then you will resign.
If any kind of loss to the exchequer of the government or that those two issues, I think according to my knowledge, it has not implemented up till now.
One second. Let's distinguish it. I'm not personal gain to you. Personal gain to you.
There was no there is no personal gain for me. According to the law, I have taken the decision. When those people came to me,
Sir, the principal secretary.
In one decision,
the principal secretary wrote a letter saying chief minister has approved it.
In the future, any kind of inquiry will going to start about the Lokayukta report. Then any wrongful decision I have taken, in that inquiry it will come naturally. But I will stand whatever I am expressing before the people. I will stand for that decision.
Okay, let's get everyone in. Neeraj Kishan call. Where do you stand on this whole subject today? Should the chief minister resign?
Well, I think, Arnav, propriety and conventions long demand that people started realizing that once serious allegations of this kind are made, especially by the Lokayukt, who's a high constitutional authority, holding a high public office, I think propriety demands that the chief minister should step down in a matter like this. And it doesn't hold good only for the BJP government in Karnataka. I think it equally holds true anywhere, whether it deals with ministers at the center or at the state level. Wherever there have been these such serious allegations, I think the least that is demanded is that they step down, then acquit themselves and come back into office. But somehow we seem to have forgotten all proprieties and conventions.
No, so then by that logic, even Sheila Dikshit should resign. She has a Shunglu committee spoken out there. There's a Lokayukt comment against her. She should also resign.
Well, to be honest, the Shunglu committee does of course talk about Sheila Dikshit, but I think there's a far more direct reference and implication in the present case than is in that case. And all that I'm talking about today is not individuals. What I'm saying is that overall propriety and conventions in this country are gradually completely being ignored and forgotten. You've seen previously cases of serious allegations being made. Until the courts didn't step in, no one resigned, no action was taken, and that's what I'm saying, that it's on a larger scale, it's a worrying situation to see.
I'm coming to 1 minute. Dr. Singhvi wants to rebut you.
One clarification.
Dr. Singhvi, you want to rebut him on the Sheila Dikshit
very
question?
quick.
Yes.
No. I want to give you a clarification. I want to just clarify once very quickly. On Sheila Dikshit, these are the two reasons which you rightly just trotted out by the BJP. They are the biggest falsehoods and misleading statements being made to the nation. You must clarify on your channel. Number one, Shunglu Committee is appointed as a fact-finding body by the Prime Minister with the stated object that it will find prima facie facts, then put it to the Home Ministry and the state government to reply to them, and then a final decision will be taken. It's a fact-finding, not a statutory body set up by our own Prime Minister. That fact-finding body has now put its charges on the website. The Sheila Dikshit government and the Home Ministry is replying to them. That process is going on, nothing to do like a Lokayukt recommendation after finding. Number two, Justice Manmohan Sareen's Lokayukt point, an allegation of both misgovernance and corruption was made against Sheila Dikshit. Both were negative by Justice Sareen. On a third charge, he recommended censure, CENSURE, saying that she had exceeded her brief by proclaiming in a public advertisement that the flats would be completed when they were only half complete. Only censure. In fact, the same report negatives malgovernance and corruption.
There are other
now,
questions
can you possibly
also
compare, and can we lose our sense of balance in a 10 crore donation to a trust, a 20 crore sale of lands, 4 ministers steeped
So
in
I
mining
find, let me ask you,
scandals,
if you're taking all of this so seriously, Abhishek Singhvi, why are you so soft on Mr. Kumaraswamy, who's on this show with you? You are choosing to skip all the parts of the report
No, 1 minute.
that relate to Mr. Kumaraswamy. You're only focusing on
at one
BJP.
time.
You're only focusing on the BJP.
1 second. No, you've not asked me the question yet.
I'm asking
I can
you
only
now.
deal with one person at one time. Now
I'm
you asked
asking
me
you
the
now.
question. Hear my answer. Hear my answer. The law has to be the same for everyone.
Okay.
It cannot be different for Mr. Lad, for me, for you, for Mr. Kumaraswamy or Mr. Yedurappa. But remember 3 things. 1, Mr. Kumaraswamy has been fair enough to come to your channel. He has been fair enough to offer to resign as a member of parliament. The allegation against him is of a much lesser charge than Mr. Yedurappa.
Why are you qualified?
Mr. Yedurappa is a sitting chief minister.
How
Has
is
he
it of a
offered to
lesser
resign?
charge?
Has the BJP
How is it of
offered
a
to make him
lesser?
resign?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kumaraswamy is right here on the program, but I
No.
must say it clearly. Mr.
I am only
Kumaraswamy,
saying,
when he was...
Of course the law will apply to him also. Of course the law will apply to him also.
No, Mr. Kumaraswamy is very much here on the show tonight. The fact is that there are strong charges against... Have you sacked your Rajya Sabha MP, who's also indicted?
There's no question of sacking a Rajya Sabha MP. He's a member
him
of
to
parliament.
resign.
If these charges are correct, there will be a CBI, there will be a criminal prosecution against him.
No, but how is the logic different for a Congress
Yedurappa
MP?
and the ministers are occupying constitutional positions.
Sir, is a member
As
of
Chief
Parliament's
Minister and
position not
Constitutional
important?
Karnataka.
A nominated...
I want to put one question. Arnav, 1 second. Arnav, 1 second. If you are a police officer of the highest caliber in Karnataka, are you going to go and interrogate and investigate the principal accused of your state, the Chief Minister of the state, while he's sitting Chief Minister?
Sir, nicely
Who is
argued.
going to investigate the criminal charges?
Sir, nicely argued. However, on the basis of, on the very basic point that there is a logic that runs behind all these cases, if you say the same logic should apply to Mr. Kumaraswamy, it should apply to a Rajya Sabha MP, but that's not the issue. Ranjit Kumar has been listening in patiently. Should Kumaraswamy resign, Ranjit Kumar?
No, I will put it a little differently in the perspective in which you are asking. First of all, a member of parliament is also a constitutional post. It is not beyond the constitution, number 1. Number 2, the procedure prescribed, I have the Karnataka Lokayukt Act here of 1984. The procedure prescribed is that when anybody files a complaint, that complaint, a preliminary inquiry is required to be made by the Lokayukt. After a preliminary inquiry, a notice of that inquiry and documents are required to be supplied to the person who is the person against whom complaint is made. He can have his say thereafter. After he has had his say,
So
the Lokayukt is empowered to call for witnesses. The Lokayukt is also empowered to go for search and seizure. Thereafter, under section 12, he gives a report. There are two kinds of report that he can give.
You are looking at it...
When after giving a report, an action is to be taken by the competent authority, by meaning the government or the governor.
I think you are looking at it technically.
The Lokayukt can
With
also
all respect,
recommend.
you are looking at it technically, Mr. Kumar. You are looking at it technically,
No,
Mr. Kumar.
just allow me to
Arnav, can I
complete.
come in?
1 minute, Mr. Kaul wants to rebut you.
Also
Arnav, can I come
recommend.
Mr. Kaul wants...
Just allow me.
Okay.
Lokayukt can also recommend a declaration that the person occupying the office must leave the office. There is a, under section 13, there is a requirement that if the Lokayukt gives a declaration, if he gives a declaration that the person must vacate the office, then that person must vacate the office.
That will also be recommendatory.
There is no answer in 3 months.
Sir, that will also be recommendatory. That will also be recommendatory. Neeraj Kishan Kaul wants to
No,
rebut
it is
you.
not recommendatory.
Yes.
That's what I am trying to tell you.
Arnav,
That in 3 months the government does not act.
thing that we...
Yeah, Mr. Kaul.
Arnab, the one thing we must remember is how did the post of Lok Ayog come to be constituted? Way back, the Administrative Reforms Commission, headed by the late Prime Minister Morarji Desai, as he then was, said this was badly needed to improve public administration. Now, you ordinarily have people who've been former judges of High Court or Supreme Court. These are high offices of great public trust. Now, when a report of the kind that has come, that is why I said propriety and convention is important. When a report of this kind comes, one does expect that a person steps down, acquits himself and comes back. If you get into technicalities, if you get into procedural aspects, that's another issue.
Okay.
But there has to be some governance by propriety.
Okay.
And you said great examples. I'm sure Mr. Yadurappa's reputation and respect amongst the people will greatly grow if he were to step down at this stage, acquit himself of the charges and come back.
Okay.